First of all, the Eastern Naga Students Federation, we genuinely thank all of you for being so supportive and for always responding to the call of the Federation. Today we have invited all of you to this press conference to declare the indefinite democratic agitation, which is scheduled from 21st of April 2022. It is in regard to non-fulfillment of the ENSF Charter of Demand number 3 and 4, which is in regard to inclusion of exempted departments and boards under NSSB Regulation 2020. Now, all of us, we are aware of the NSSB. However, we feel that it is very important to highlight some of the key points and the process and some of the correspondence that we had with the government. Now, the government came up with NSSB. However, the Federation on 11 of September 2020, we submitted a rejection letter to the government of Nagaland in regard to the modalities which was not in satisfactory to the Federation. After which, after submitting a rejection letter to the government decided to come up with a cabinet subcommittee on 29th of September 2020 to discuss the Charter of Demand which was placed by the ENSF. However, it is so unfortunate to say this that despite constituting a cabinet subcommittee by the government has never deliberated or discussed on Charter of Demand number 3 and 4, which demands for inclusion of exempted posts and exempted departments which are outside the purview of NSSB. So, the government, they went ahead and they submitted the report to the government on 5th of October 2021. So this is the reason why we are still firm with our demand for inclusion of exempted departments and boards. Now, on 12th of October 2021, we have ENSF, we have submitted a discontentment letter to the government, and we even met our Honorable Chief Minister on 27th of November 2021. However, even after waiting for 3 months, we did not get any reply from the government. So on 23rd of February, the ENSF, we decided to give an ultimatum to the government. And after that, subsequently, we received a reply from the government on 14th of March 2022. But the reply was not satisfactory again. It was a copy-paste of the report which was given to the government by the Cabinet Subcommittee. It was just a copy-paste. There was no progress, and they never had a discussion in regard to the demand made by ENSF for inclusion of exempted posts in department. Now, the government, or maybe many people might feel that ENSF is blocking the smooth functioning of NSSB. However, we want to clarify on certain points. ENSF, initially we had 6 Charter of Demands. Now, in Charter of Demands point number 2, we had this 45% reservation. We have so many docils, but the government recommends the Cabinet Subcommittee recommended that it be carried forward for comprehensive review after 2021 census. So ENSF, we had a meeting and we have agreed to that. Now, in regard to 45% reservation, that has been carried forward for comprehensive review, which will take place after the exercise of 2021 census. So we don't have any issue in regard to that. Now, the problem is, the reason why ENSF is still firm with our demand is, this is in regard to Charter of Demand number 3 and 4, which demands for inclusion of exempted posts and inclusion of accepted departments under NSSB. So, one thing that we need to understand is the sole purpose of constituting this NSSB is to eradicate backdoor appointment and to give a meritocracy to the aspirants, the students who are preparing for exam. Now, if the government functions it without including the exempted departments and boards, then it is the sole purpose of constituting NSSB is defeated even before it starts functioning. And we believe and we know that it will open another door for backdoor appointment. So this is the reason why ENSF is still firm on its demand. Now, it is also to mention, it is very important to know that it was in the year 2020, we had an agitation, 5 days agitation in our eastern areas. So after the intervention of the government, they gave an assurance that this will be taken into consideration, so you stop the agitation. But however, even after 2 years and 1 month, it is not yet materialized. So we believe that this proposed agitation on 21st of April, this is a continuation of our previous agitation. Now we are coming to the street, we will be agitating in Secretariat, Nagaland Secretariat, and this time we are very serious. It is to be noted that this time we are very serious. For more than 2 years, we have been dealing with this issue, and then the only thing that we are asking the government is to include the exempted posts and exempted departments. So it is very simple. So from Thursday, that is 21st of April, we will be going for indefinite democratic agitation at our Secretariat. So thank you.
President, I would also like to highlight some of the genuine points and genuine initiative undertaken by the Federation. Here, the main purpose of constituting SSB is to control backdoor appointment, to maintain transparency in recruitment. The main objective of SSB is to maintain transparency and to eradicate backdoor appointment practices. The Federation have placed first letter of representation in the year 2010 March. And after lapses of 2 years and 1 month, so far, Federation demand is yet to fulfill, which is legitimate and which is genuine. Initially, we have placed 6 points charter of demand to be incorporated under SSB MPIT or SSB preview. Those are the 6 points. Reservation Federation have already agreed that after completion of 2021 census, this will be carried out. But remaining point, that is compensation of 1 chairman and 2 members. The another point is exemption to all the district in Nagaland. The third point is penal provision. In case, if after SSB is established, if any officers or any department fails to requisite grade C post to the SSB, penal provision should be incorporated. And that was our demand. And the other 2 points demand is that is exempted department and an exempted post. Here, after the government, after 5 days agitation, government has asked us to wait certain time to address the genuine demand of the Federation. And we agree to the department request, and government has constituted cabinet subcommittee. After cabinet subcommittee, again government has constituted 1 working group to discuss the demand of the SSB. And the constituting of this cabinet subcommittee and the working committee was out of ENSF demand. And after several rounds of discussion, it is said to say that not even one time this exempted department and exempted post has discussed at the level of working committee. And while submitting government report, working committee report on last year, that is 5th October 2020, ENSF did not satisfy the draft report prepared by the Federation, and we didn't agree. And on that day, the convener has asked to raise their hand, those who are willing to the report prepared by the government. On that day, ENSF didn't raise our hand, and we didn't agree even to the report submitted by the government of Nagaland. Here, the demand is genuine and legitimate, and here the point is very clear. We are demanding SSP, demanding strong and effective SSP to set up in Nagaland. And when Group C and more than almost 8 department is exempted from the Bureau of Department, we don't see complete, effective and strong SSP in Nagaland. So we are fighting for the future generation of younger generation. We are fighting for the educated youth of Nagas, and we want inclusive, strong and effective SSP to establish in Nagaland. And we, Federation, will not allow pick and choose posts and pick and choose department. Why government has not incorporated many grade C posts, and why government has not incorporated more than 8 departments under SSP? We don't see any valid point, we don't see any genuine reason. So, under any situation, under any circumstances, Federation demand grade C posts and exempted department and exempted posts should be incorporated under SSB before SSB is made fully functional. And the other 3 points agreed by the government to be incorporated under SSP regulation is also yet to be incorporated. So we demand the other 3 agreed point also to be incorporated under SSP regulation before SSP is made fully functional. Thank you.
Yeah, we will take lots of time when we go through the boss, exempted boss, but I think some of the departments, not just some of the departments, but the 8 departments which are accepted from NSSB is recommended to the boss of constable, fire constable, warder female, Department of Police, Department of Prisons, Nagaland Lok Ayukta, Nagaland Police Telecommunication Organization, Home Guards and Civil Defense, Fire and Emergency Services, Excise and Forest Guard, which is under Environment, Forest and Climate Change Department. So these are some of the departments which are exempted from NSSB. Now coming back to the question asked in regard to NSF, I think we are a different body, and I don't think we will, it will be wise on our part to answer on that. But this is a genuine appeal to all the Nagas, especially aspirants and the students who will be sitting for an exam very soon. I think the demands met by ENSF, the demands met by ENSF is not just for Eastern Nagas. Though this is a press conference, this is a debate of ENSF, I feel we are demanding for the whole of Nagas. This is not just the agenda, or this will not only benefit the Eastern Nagas, but this is for the entire Nagas. So all the right-thinking citizens and all the like-minded people should come and voice out together in this regard. So this is, I think, one thing that all of us should know. Administration, we will talk to them very soon. But I think this is a democratic country, so we are proposing for a peaceful democratic agitation. So I think no one should stop this. Yeah, and this time, like we have said, this issue has been dragging for more than 2 years now, and then this time we are very serious. And we are serious because we feel, and we are the guardian of the students' community and for the younger generation. So we will talk for those who are, who will be coming up, who will be, who is an aspirant. So I think this time we are very serious, and then we will not back off. Yeah. Yeah. Now, like we have mentioned before, the committee was constituted solely to discuss the demand made by ENSF. Now we had 6 charter of demands. But 3 demands they have recommended, it is not yet approved, it is not approved yet in the cabinet again. So last year on 5th of October they have submitted to the government, but the cabinet has never discussed. We asked for a chairman and 2 members to be rotated among the recognized tribe of Nagaland. And the second was to establish exam center for all the, in all the districts. And the third was penalty provision. Now, they have just recommended, and in regard to our charter of demand number 3 and 4, they have simply said that these exempted posts and departments could be considered in due course of time. So which means it is possible to include, however they want to take some time. And maybe they are saying that this could be included, this could be considered in due course of time, and I think could be is not a favorable answer. So it should be, we need a concrete response from the government saying that this will be included, this shall be included, and then we will make it functional. Now it is very clear that ENSF, we are not against the functioning of NSSB. We are just against the modalities of the regulation. So once, as and when it is approved, the regulation is approved, I think it will take so many years to review again. So before we make a blunder, it will be a wise on the part for all the stakeholders and the government to incorporate all the departments and the posts which are exempted and then, make it functional. So this is our sole agenda and this is our demand. Yeah.
All over the state?
No.
Just here in Kohima?
Yeah, just here in Kohima. See, the government, we had, I'm repeating again and again, but we had 6 charter of demands and 3 charter of demands, that is 3 charter of demands they have recommended and then they have accepted in principle. Now, however, now the remaining 3 charter of demands, one is in regard to 45% reservation, which the subcommittee recommended for comprehensive review after the exercise of 2021 census, that we have agreed. Now the only 2 remaining charter of demands is in regard to exempted posts and exempted departments. That's it. The other 3 charter of demands, I think maybe after this press conference we can give you the charter of demands also to be more clearer. Yeah. Our demand is very clear. Under ENSF we have 7 fattening units, so we have talked to them, and then this agitation, the scheduled agitation, was worked out only after having a presidential meeting with our 7 fattening units. Now we cannot just go and lobby around, but I believe that the right-thinking citizens and those who think that this demand is genuine will come to the street and join us. But so far we did not coordinate with any of the other units here. We cannot say this now, but roughly 1,000. Yeah. Taking this kind of decision, I think we had a sitting with our frontal organizations, that is INLU and INVO. But in regard to INLU, we cannot say because they're also a part of the government. So this is against the government. So INLU, we had a meeting and then all of us, we have decided to go ahead with the agitation.
INLU is not in the board, but EMBO.
EMBO, no, yeah, EMBO.
Will you consider it?
No, I think we have waited long enough. And like I've mentioned before, it's like more than 2 years and 1 month. So I think it will be very difficult to extend. And of course, if the government wants to sit and talk about inclusion, then we will be more than happy. But if there's no positive response from the government within these few days, then we are going ahead. And it's indefinite. And this time, like I'm saying this again and again, but this time it's very serious. Yeah.
One question that different platforms, what do you have to say on that?
I think in regard to 45% reservation, I think it will be good if we just keep it this way. Because considering the technical issues and of course, we have all the justifications. Because during the cabinet subcommittee meeting, we have placed our justification as to why we are asking 45% reservation. We have the justification. However, all of us, we feel that this NSSB should be made functional soon, very soon. This should be activated very soon. So this is the reason why we agreed to that. Or else the government has given one notification saying that the NSSB will not be functional until and unless the demand made by ENSF is materialized. That is in regard to 45% reservation. However, we feel that it is very important to give a chance to the younger generation to sit for an exam. So that is the reason why we said we agreed to that. So the cabinet subcommittee recommended that can be taken care during the comprehensive review. So we agreed to that. And then for that, I think we will have a separate press conference also in regard to that. Yeah. Yeah, but that has been carried forward for comprehensive review. So maybe in due course of time, we can discuss about it in detail. Yeah.
Regarding point exempted post and exempted department, from day one, Federation have clearly told to the government that in case if uniforms like uniform development, like professional training to be trained, then let's preliminary and written should be through SSB, and let's take oral part by the respective department. As I said before, these two core demands have not discussed even once during working committee discussion and sitting. Several rounds of discussion was there, but not even a one-time discussion was made on this group 2 and 3 demand.
Why do you think the government is trying to avoid the discussion of this?
We don't see any valid reason, and so far we didn't heard any valid reason from the side of the government.
See,
They just government is just keep on delaying the issue only, in fact.
See, let me just supplement. Their reply is very simple, and then which is not so favorable. They replied, it could be considered in due course of time. However, during the process, the cabinet subcommittee was constituted on 29th of September 2020, and then it was dissolved in the month of October, 5th October 2021 again. For more than 11 months, this committee has been discussing in this issue. Now, like I've mentioned before, this cabinet subcommittee was constituted solely to discuss the Charter of Demand, the 6th Charter of Demand placed by the Federation. However, these two Charter of Demand number 3 and 4, these were never discussed. So it is, up to them. But they just gave a simple reply without discussing. They just gave a simple reply that this could be considered in due course of time. But we will not listen to that. We are just going ahead with the agitation so that this be also incorporated in the regulation.